We're going to go ahead and start
That's tough to
this
explain.
morning's
Efficient.
meeting, the November 17th meeting of the Virginia Beach Development Authority. The floor is open for public comment at this time. Vicki, do we have any?
No comment.
So nobody on the phone or in the room. With that, we're going to move to the next item, which is the meeting minutes. Has everybody had a chance to review the meeting minutes?
I've moved to approve.
Second.
All right, we've got a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Next item is a review of our financial position. Sean.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Through your cash inflows and outflows. PowerPoint here covering the month of October. First up will be the operating account activity, over $4.5 million of funding on hand. Three major receipts. See over $130,000 coming in. These are industrial revenue bond fees. The authority collected for two different bond recipients that have paid in for their annual fee payment. Below that, we've also had the interest income we're earning on the checking and the savings account, over $2,000 being earned there for your inflows. For your outflows, just some items that we don't typically see each month. There's a industrial park stormwater fee, it needs $1,400. This is an annual payment related to the stormwater grandfathering of corporate landing. As part of your operating budgets, a one-time payment will be given to the city. Below that, we have for Global Links, their monthly fee. We are into year 2 of the agreement, and there was a 3% escalator on their fee, so that's why you see a change in the amount now, a little bit higher than $13,000 it had been previously. And then below that, for your independent audit fee, called last month's meeting, Cliff Larson Allen presented the findings from last year's fiscal audit. So this is a progress payment towards them, close to $3,000 being paid on the contract the city has with external auditors for that presentation. So that makes up a bulk of the items appearing on your statement. At the end of the month, $4,613,673. Happy to answer any questions anyone has on the operating account activity. If not, I'll move to your incentive program. Again, we're covering the month of October. For cash on hand, we have over $5.8 million of incentive funding and funding for city initiatives. For your receipts, almost an even $700 for interest being earned on the checking account we maintain. For your cash disbursements, quite a bit of activity here. On your first line item of what we call Part A awards, we had over $130,000 being expended to Hermes Abrasive for capital investment they made in the city, and Priority Title, Life and Health, G2 Ops, and BMZ USA for workforce expansion or job retention programs we had with them. Below that, for what we're calling the Part B or the redevelopment program, over $15,000 being expended to 17th Street properties for capital investment they made in the city. For your Part E awards, the small business assistance for the pandemic, we had over $360,000 of payments that were issued in the month of October. You should have a full listing on your tablets there of the 48 different grant recipients who picked up their checks during the month. Below that, we have for the dome site some legal fees, over $50,000 being expended. And last touch upon for the bio initiative funding, over $130,000 being expended for the different items you see there, the accelerated rent, the monthly consulting fees, and then finally some of the engineering fees being done by Kinley Horn for the innovation part. I'll move to a reconciliation of your overall incentive funding. We've trued up your receivables and your commitments for any new awards we approved in the prior month. So available funding at the end of October of over $1.7 million of incentive funding. Happy to answer any questions anyone has on the inflows and outflows for the incentive.
So on the incentive funding, that doesn't include the CARES Act, right? That's a separate pool or?
This does not at this time. No, that funding is all being held by the city currently. We're requesting the funding as an award is approved and the file is finalized, so it'll be in and out it hits your books.
Okay, but
No
this,
cash on hand as of right now.
so this is Part E and all the other EDIP awards, just not CARES Act. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you just give everyone a summary, again, if you would, to where we are on Part E, what remains?
I believe accrued up through the month of October, we have over 188 awards have been picked up for an amount close to $1.4 million of funding being expended. We also had some awards being sent out, pick up to last week, which I don't have in front of me right here, but that should have been another 40 or 50 awards that were picked up. As of the end of October, 188 awards picked up, to $1.4 million paid out.
Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, thank you all very much.
Thank you. All right, the next item of business is contracts. Taylor?
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is a very quick one. One of the authority's longstanding successful public-private partnerships is the agreement that we have with the operators at Heron Ridge and at Virginia, that also operate Virginia Beach National for this body. One of the things we did not contemplate 15 years ago is that we would reach a point where all of the debt service expired. So we have prohibited our partners there from collecting a dividend in light of the debt service they are paying. Well, they have satisfied their debt service and would very much like to start enjoying some of the benefits of the profits that relationship is generating. And so this basically is a request to amend their lease for what I will say is a better going forward model as this relationship continues to perform well for us.
And specifically, though, we're asking to approve one loan.
One loan, that's right.
So the prohibition, they have to come to you for permission to take on any debt that isn't directly for rehabilitation or improvements to the golf course. And so that's what this is.
Okay. So they're taking on a loan, but their debt service to us is paid.
That's
And they're
correct.
asking, in conjunction with that, to be able to pay themselves a dividend.
That's exactly right.
And your interest in the course isn't touched. They can only pledge their
That's right.
subleasehold interest and personal guarantees.
Yeah, our position's not affected, so.
Any questions from members? So, can I get a motion to approve the debt and the payment of a dividend to the
So moved.
partners? All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Next item is business assistance. Taylor?
That's right. So this is, we're continuing to move through the CARES Act applications that we have. You'll remember we have two. The first was EDIP Part E. As Sean just mentioned, we have paid out all but about $800,000 of that, and the $800,000 that we have is obligated. We're working, the only holdup there, as you saw, we paid just less than $400,000 last month. We're just continuing to collect W-9s from the businesses and recapture agreements, and as we get the document that we have to have for tax purposes, we're forwarding that for payment. This is the other bucket that came from the CARES Act, and so these are the $25,000 reimbursements. We have 68 and another 68 businesses here that have qualified, and we're really ready to advance those for payment. That docket was provided to you in advance. It's available for the public review, and we request your approval of these next 68.
I have one question here. Is that only for Virginia Beach businesses? Because there's one that is from Norfolk.
This should only be for Virginia Beach businesses. If there is a Norfolk business on there, we missed it.
Yeah, Taylor, I noticed that too. Number 4, a chance for change, actually has a waterside drive.
There should not be a dollar amount for a chance for change. Yeah, that's by mistake.
So
True, so-
We did catch that. She put her home address up there as well. I've called her twice. She would not be giving it.
Okay, so we'll take them off the list.
Yeah, and so it's important that we bring you the complete docket, but if we're not advancing, just so that you have a record of everyone that applied and qualified, but in the event that Jeff's team sees something like that in review, they take the award amount down to 0.
She would not.
Okay, so with the removal of number 4, a chance for change, Can I get a motion on the,
The ones that don't have verified receipts, there's a few on here, they requested a certain amount, but they have no verified receipts. Are they receiving nothing then, or? And some of them have verified receipts that are less than the amount they're requesting. What do they get?
They get only the amount of receipts that they submitted that we could verify fit within your provision. So if someone requested 25,000, but provided no receipts that we could verify, well, they get nothing.
Okay.
But if there was 5,000 that we could verify, they get the 5,000. And then they have and that's a great question, Dr. Brown. Those applicants then, they're not out. They then have an opportunity to come back and reapply as they get their paperwork in order. But one of the things that we were specific to do when we were building this program, given how small some of these businesses are and the challenges that we were seeing with Part E, we wrote a process here that allows us to just move through them quickly. As we get them, we evaluate we figure out what we can advance. We give the business 2 days, 48 hours, basically to respond with information for the pieces that we cannot verify, and then we advance that completed docket at that point. And so the business can come back again as they have their paperwork in order, but we don't want to hold up the payment of anyone else.
so, Taylor, the number at the bottom then of the spreadsheet, the $752,961.12, that's the verified receipts?
Yes.
So that would be the total for just what they've been able to verify.
That is correct.
So this tranche is 752,000 and change.
That's correct.
Staying on 60, 61, and 62.
Okay, thank you. And there's a list that I've provided, Alex, on the, I think, 5 or 6 applicants on which I'll be abstaining. Any other comments?
I'll be abstaining as well.
Excuse me.
No, Mr. Standing is abstaining generally, as the recipient.
Okay. Can I get a motion? I got a motion for Mr. Byrne. Can I get a second?
Second.
So the motion is to approve with the abstentions noted. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion carries.
And Madam Chair, if I may quickly before we move on, just want to say to any businesses that are watching this, or members of the community that see this, the portal is still open. There is money available. We welcome. We closed the portal last week, basically while we verified that there were still funds available. It is reopened as of yesterday, and so we would ask anyone who's interested in participating in this program to please go and submit an application.
Do we know about how much money is left?
So at this point, with 700 today, we should have in the neighborhood about 2 million left. That's, I may be a couple $100,000 off on either side of that, but there's 2 million available in $25,000 increments for businesses that need assistance. And so we would just ask the new members of the community that are in need and that have receipts that they can attribute to the pandemic that they apply, and we'll be happy to evaluate that request.
And I think for all of us, if we know of any businesses that have expenditures that are directly related to COVID, whether they bought PPE or plexiglass or have had to pay employees to work overtime that's directly related, whether it's a preschool or a kindergarten or, some of these smaller businesses, please reach out and let them know that this money is available and it goes back to the state or the feds if it's not.
It goes to the state first, and then I'm not sure where it goes from there, but it's federal money, so it's December 31 is our deadline.
December 31.
Yes, sir.
So please reach out to any businesses. Thank you.
That's when the money goes back.
That's right, that's when the money goes. So Jeff just made a great point. December 31 is when we got to send it back. This body won't meet after well, I'd say the third Tuesday, depending on, sometimes we meet on the second Tuesday in December, but what I would say is, it really is effectively the date of the last meeting of this body in 2020.
Thank you. Next item is PDIP incentive program.
So just as we're working through that working through the applicants on EDIP Part E, funding as many as we can, We found, if you all remember, we had 497 awards come through, and we were just working through that tranche. We found 6 awards that had already been approved, but these are modifications that would allow us to complete payment of those 6, not an additional approval, just a modification. We would ask for your approval of that to basically amend the resolution that you immediately, or amend the resolution that you approved prior.
And it looks like there are 6 businesses
Just 6.
affected, and you've got the reason for the amendment indicated.
That's correct.
And I'll be abstaining from one of these, and it was one that I previously abstained from that we're amending.
John Hooker Associates, August 18th.
Thank you, Al. Any other comments on the amended Part E award recipients? All right, hearing none, can I get a motion on the amendment of the prior Part E awards for the applicants listed on Exhibit A?
Move to approve.
Thank you. I've got a motion and a second. All in favor? Say aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Thank you. Next item is administrative information. Any comments from members on things that you're hearing in the community or items that we need to be looking into?
I think the community is pretty quiet at the moment.
And a lot going on. Well, hopefully by next month, we can have a report on all the EDIP Part E awards that we've either written checks for or have awarded, so we can get a good update on that from the community, and then the CARES Act as well. I think we
have a docket on both. We'd be happy to bring that.
let folks know what's going on. The only comment I've heard, and I don't know if NECA's on the phone, I've talked to Alex about this, because of COVID and now we're going into further restrictions, we need to make sure that attendance by phone or attendance virtually, while those commissioners can't actually vote on items, we need to make sure their attendance at those meetings counts. And I think Alex said there's a way for us to tweak the bylaws to address that. All right, I think we're ready for the director's report.
Yeah, just a couple of quick things from me. And one, Mr. Bunky just mentioned another great program, Rebuild Virginia, another grant program available from the Commonwealth that we're seeing some participation on. Also, for any businesses in the community that participated in the PPP, we are seeing that banks are starting to are entering the phase where they're rolling out portals or are deploying the sort of the applications to apply for the forgiveness portion. What I would say, obviously, that this body has no role in that, but we would just mention to any businesses that are watching today, if you participated in the PPP and are hoping to also subsequently use the forgiveness provision of that, we would encourage you to stay in touch with the lender that helped you with that application, as we are seeing those portals start to open. The only other thing that I'll mention today is that a thank you to all of you and to the community. Well, actually, 2 more things. Your annual golf tournament, which has traditionally been in May, was 2 weeks ago. It was the day before Thanksgiving, and
Day before Thanksgiving?
Veterans Day.
day before Halloween. Excuse me.
We didn't have
Yeah, it was the day before Halloween. Thank you. I should drink more coffee. But but once again, we had strong participation from our local business community. It was a great event. 100% of the proceeds this year went to the VB Strong Foundation. So on behalf of all City of Virginia Beach staff, I just want to express thanks to all of you and to the business community that participated in that effort. And would just say that a year and a half later, our city staff is still very much recovering from what was an horrific event, and we appreciate the continued support from the community as we work through that. So just thanks to all of you for that. One last quick thing. Traditionally, this is the time of year where we would start sending out invitations for a Christmas party. Given a Virginia Beach Development Authority holiday celebration. What I would just say is, in light of the restrictions that are in place today, but also the ongoing pandemic, it is going to essentially be impossible for us to do that this year. And so would just say to all of you and to members of to businesses within the community who we have traditionally enjoyed seeing around the holidays, and also the purpose of that is that's the time that we thank our business community for their investment in our community and for hiring and for their employment here and all that are basically all of the economic growth that we have experienced here. But I would say this year it's just impossible, and we so sorry for that. But we will look forward to being with everyone next year when it's safe.
In the spring. Let's look forward to summer.
That's it.
Summer.
It's the same thing.
Thank you.
Maybe we could consider this springtime.
Yeah.
It'll be
Maybe things would look a little
refreshing.
bit- Maybe we could even be outdoors and.
So certainly if it's the will of this body to do something in the spring, we would, I can certainly speak for staff and say we would welcome that opportunity, and we thank you for that. That'd be fantastic.
For summer.
If we could be outside, that'd be nice. Well, thank you, Taylor. All right, at this time, we're going to move into a closed session. The chair will entertain a motion to recess into a closed session pursuant to the exemptions from open meetings allowed by Section 2.2-3711A Code of Virginia as amended for the following purposes. Contracts, discussion of the award of a public contract involving the expenditure of public funds, including interviews of bidders or offerers, and discussion of the terms or scope of such contract, where discussion in an open session would adversely affect the bargaining position or negotiating strategy of the public body pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A30. Prospective business or industry, discussion concerning a prospective business or industry or the expansion of an existing business or industry where no previous announcement has been made of the business or industry's interest in locating or expanding its facilities in the community pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A5. And publicly held property, discussion or consideration of the acquisition of real property for a public purpose or the disposition of publicly held real property where discussion in an open meeting would adversely affect the bargaining position or negotiating strategy of the public body pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A3. And can I get a motion to recess into closed session?
So moved.
I got a motion and a second. All in favor,
Please, son, wait. It's got to be open to do it.
all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion carries.
You got to call the roll.
You know what 5 lawyers wrote that,
All right, hey,
Just Alex, just the one.
Call the roll.
David Byrne,
30
I'm
seconds.
here.
William Brown,
Yes.
Thank you.